Hello and welcome to Triggered Care. I'm Alex. I haven't uploaded in quite the while, ever since right before the election, and a big part of that is I've been going through a lot myself. I've been going through a lot of flashbacks, a lot of anniversaries, a lot of overwhelming stress from current life situations, and I want to make a video about that in a way because through my struggles I've realized that I'm missing out on some support that I really need. And so this video is going to go over my preferences of discussing really hard trauma. And what I mean by that is how someone can give me the best peer support that I need in the moment of being overwhelmed and distressed and not knowing what to do. And a lot of that links back to dealing with childhood sexual assault flashbacks. It's really heavy stuff. I know it's really heavy, so if you're not in a space to hear about this right now, don't watch the video. And I also want to point out that these are my preferences for dealing with it, and that everybody has different preferences when it comes to recovery. I process things verbally. So, in order to process what has happened to me, I need a conversation to help me make sense in my mind of what's going on. And lately I've been having difficulties with that because when I try to talk about it, I'm in a rough spot myself with a lot of suicidal ideation due to the overwhelming flashbacks that I'm going through. And one of the difficulties that I've run into talking about it is when I try to go to one of my supports, who's a friend who knows me pretty well, to try to talk about it, they emotionally clam up and they try to validate, they try to support me in the way that they know how by telling me that makes sense. Yep. And that's really hard. But I can tell that they're not emotionally in the conversation, which then in turn makes me feel worse, like I should have never brought this up in the first place. And it will make me stop talking about it. And then that will stifle that processing. And so I'm stuck on the same flashback, on the same memories over and over and over again because I'm not getting that mental stimulation to help me figure it out and to put the feelings to rest. So what I need instead is stimulating conversation and curiosity. So when I bring up to whoever that I'm going through childhood rape flashbacks or whatever it is, I would like it for someone to ask me what I'm remembering, to be curious about it. Like, well, what are these flashbacks? What are you seeing? Tell me more about the dynamic and the relationships that you've had with these people and how it affected your life. So I can process and piece together the fragments and the flashbacks that I have to make it make sense in my memory so it's not all jumbled up and just haunting. Don't be afraid to let out real emotion. Like, that's really intense. I don't even know how to respond really, but I know that that's got to be a super intense feeling. So I can feel that you're feeling it with me and that you're not just putting on this front of, oh, I'm the strong person and I'm helping you, the weak person right now, because I hate that. And then admitting when you don't know what to say, because sometimes it is so overwhelming that your brain comes up with a blank, and that's more than okay to be like, wow, that's so much. I don't know what to say right now, but I'm here with you. Because that is indescribably hard. Being willing to empathize with me as much as you can. So even if you can't relate, being like, I can't even imagine going through that. And when I try, it's just extremely painful. And letting me know that. And that's more helpful than any cookie cutter validation phrase that you could put out there. And lastly, asking me what I need. Because when I am in flashbacks and the hellscape of depression that comes along with surviving way too much messed up shit, I'm not thinking about what I need. I would like somebody to remind me, like, oh yeah, I have needs. I need a hug, or I need you to just sit with me and listen and pretend that you're curious about it. Pretend that you're actually interested in what I've gone through, other than, like I just mentioned, cookie cutter validation statements. And so this is a pretty short video, but I've been so overwhelmed and kind of at a loss of what to do. And I hope that this was validating for those of you who can relate to me, and hopefully this was informative for those who can't, of how to help out your friends and loved ones who have gone through really intense things, and how to talk to them about it in a way that makes them feel better about it too. So I hope everyone's doing all right, and hopefully I have a happier video coming up soon as I'm done processing all this really hard stuff. And stay strong. I hope all y'all are having good ones.